loose. And then I'm just gonna pour this in here. Well, hello there. This is Ray with Easy Simple Mechanic, and today we're gonna go ahead and get that 1929 out of the garage and try and get it washed up so that we can start working on it, see what we need to do to get it running. We cleared out the garage a little bit to be able to get that out, and so now we're gonna get it out here, give it a quick wash, and then get back in there and see what we can do about trying to get it running. Now, I don't have a 6-volt battery, so what we might do is we might spend some time in trying to wash out that old battery with some Epsom salt and water to try and get it cleaned up so that we can charge it up. So stay tuned and let's get to work. Well, folks, for you, it seemed like really quick, but actually it took me quite a while to get that thing cleaned up. The hardest part was the spoked wheels, especially the front ones, because I guess from where they greased the wheel bearings, sitting in that storage where it was, I guess it got hot in the summer and the grease was kind of getting thin and running down the spokes. And that grease was really hard to get off the wheels. So yeah, that's a challenge, cleaning those that grease off those spoke wheels, especially when it's been baked in. So that was a challenge. The other thing that was kind of good that I went ahead and sprayed it down and used a high pressure washer is because apparently he used some spray can paint on some of the stuff underneath and didn't prep the material good enough, so a lot of that stuff just peeled off. And it's just a lot easier to have it peel off now, because then I can prep it a little bit and get some good paint on there, like some of that engine paint that I put on that Lincoln Welder engine that really sticks. It won't come off. So we'll go ahead and get that on there once we get that cleaned up before we put the cab on the car. So that was good that we did that, but it looks like we're not going to get a whole lot more done on this today because we've got to let everything dry, especially the electrics and everything, so that we can go ahead and try and get that thing checked for spark, see if the carburetor's going to work, so on and so forth. Then try and see if we can get that battery, that 6-volt battery, refurbished, or try and get it to work. Anyway, so that's, I guess, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and dump the acid out of that 6-volt battery and shake it around with some Epsom salt and water, and then we'll go ahead and drain it back out and put a charger on it. So I don't know if that's going to work or not, but that's what I'm going to try and do. The other thing I may try and do is try and get it running with my battery charger. This positive ground. So that's some stuff that I'm going to have to do some research and be very careful, because my entire career, everything I've worked on has been negative ground. So with positive ground, then everything's backwards. So I got to make sure when I trace out wires and I start hooking stuff up that I don't fry anything, because it's going to be hard to find stuff if I do. So anyhow, that's enough talking. So I'm gonna try and get this battery refurbished. I've seen this on YouTube. I don't know how well it works, but I figured it's worth a try, since this battery seems to be in fairly decent shape. So I'm gonna try, and the sun's in my eyes, so hopefully you guys can still see, but I'm gonna try and get this done. Safety first, get some gloves and some safety glasses. And this here is some baking soda. This is to neutralize the acid. So we want to make sure that we have in here. I'm gonna make sure that we get that done. And so as soon as we do that, that'll be able to neutralize the acid so that we don't get hopefully any problems. Now, you have to use, or should use, a plastic container, and should not use something that the acid can destroy. So first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the caps off of the battery. So we'll go ahead and pull the caps off, trying not to get any acid on me. Notice I went ahead and changed out, put some shorts on, in case there's any little splashes or whatever of acid. I can wipe myself off, or get some baking soda on myself, but I didn't want to ruin a good pair of jeans, so we're gonna do this. And so first, I'm gonna shake it up a little bit, just to try and get things shaken loose. And then I'm just gonna pour this in here. Now you want to do this in a well-ventilated area. Anyways, this is the battery here. You got to be careful with the acid that is still on top of the battery. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back inside and see if I can find another box of that baking soda, so that I can use kind of on top of the battery to clean it. And so when I put the distilled water, it needs to be distilled water. I'm gonna put distilled water with some Epsom salt. When I go to pour that in, and it mixes with the other stuff, I want to make sure that I put some of that baking soda. Oh, there's a box there. I put some of that baking soda on it to make sure that it doesn't get on anything else. And it looks like, I don't know if you can see it from there, but it looks like this baking soda is enough, because it didn't take it all up. So yeah, it still looks white. Well, we have this Epsom salt. We have that gallon of purified water. So I'm just using this funnel. And I think it's probably going to take the whole bag if it doesn't fill all the way up. Oh, there it is, all full up. So that's it. Now I made a little room at the top for that. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put some of this inside. I put those caps back on there because I cleaned the top of that battery off with a little bit of baking soda. And so maybe we'll just put a little bit directly into the cylinders, to the cells. So maybe we'll put a little more in the others to make them all the same. Okay, so I can see that those all have some of that in there. I don't know if this is the best way to do this, just kind of the way I thought about doing it, but now I'm beginning to wonder if I shouldn't have just poured the salt in the cells, put some salt in there and then just pour the water in there. But I guess this way it'll be a little more soluble when we pour it in. So let's go ahead and see. Since this is an experiment, we'll try that. Maybe we'll go learning something from that. I'm going to go ahead and put the caps back on this. We're going to put that in there. Shake it up, and apparently this is supposed to clean the plates off of the inside, and if there's still enough material on there and you can clean these plates off, might be able to revive the battery. So I hooked it up. I put it on the lowest 6-volt setting that I have. I don't know if it's low enough because they do say to use a trickle charge to bring them back. I don't know if you can see that, but it's already taking a charge. It looks like it's taking around 10 amps of charging going on there. So that may be a good sign though. Well, folks, I guess that's going to do it for for this episode. Thanks for watching as you watch this build continue. Hang in there, and we'll check you on the next one. Please like, share, subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.